So, our patient is a 54-year-old male named Siren. He presents with three very specific chief complaints. We're talking progressive fatigue, a low-grade fever, and unintentional weight loss. These aren't your typical sudden acute symptoms. This triad really represents a slow, systemic metabolic drain. It points us directly toward a chronic illness as our primary suspect right out of the gate. To ground our investigation, we take his baseline vitals. His temperature is 37.8 degrees Celsius, so a persistent low-grade fever. Blood pressure is just slightly elevated at 138 over 84 millimeters of mercury. His pulse is 86 beats per minute, and his respiratory rate is 16 breaths per minute. Now, crucially here, his oxygen saturation is 98%. That completely normal O2 rules out underlying pulmonary issues causing his fatigue. So he's stable, but there is definitely a pathology brewing. Section 2. Analyzing the patient history. Systematic review. In our line of detective work, what isn't there is often just as important as what is. Saprin has absolutely no history of diabetes, hypertension, or autoimmune disease. He reports zero recent travel or infectious contacts, which significantly lowers the odds of any occult or hidden infections. He doesn't smoke and has minimal alcohol use, which gives us fewer hepatic or lifestyle clues. And having no family history reduces our concern for inherited risks or malignancy. So we're effectively narrowing the field. Section 3. Physical examination clues. Cataloging findings. All right, moving on to the physical exam. We spot pale conjunctiva, which points straight toward anemia. We also observe mild bilateral pedal edema, suggesting some renal salt and water retention. But notice his completely normal heart and lung exam? That drastically reduces our concern for heart failure as the culprit for the swelling. Furthermore, we've got no enlarged liver or spleen, no hepatosplenomegaly, no swollen lymph nodes, and no rash. All of that pushes malignancy and active autoimmune diseases way down our list of suspects. Section 4. Diagnostic labs and imaging. Data forensics phase. Now I want you to just pause for a second and consider this. With a massive list of potential tests available, everything from serum electrolytes and calcium to biopsies and blood cultures, how do we actually choose the most valid ones? We have to be precise, ordering only the tests that will confirm our growing clinical suspicion based on the symptoms and that mild edema we found. So, we run the most reliable tests, and here is exactly what we find. The CBC shows a normocytic anemia, meaning his red blood cells are normal in size, there's just a low number of them, which is super typical of a chronic disease. He also has a mild leukocytosis. His serum creatinine, though, is alarming at 2.2 milligrams per deciliter. Looking at his electrolytes, we see a sodium of 137, a potassium of 4.7, and a bicarbonate of 20 millimoles per liter. Critically, his urinalysis reveals proteinuria, but with a bland sediment. That means there are no active inflammatory cells or casts. This points us toward a chronic Felcher problem, not an acute infection. We also check a few essential markers just to round out our view. Serum albumin is sitting at 3.4 grams per deciliter, showing he isn't losing massive amounts of protein. Calcium is exactly 9.0 milligrams per deciliter. A completely normal TSH rules out a thyroid cause for his fatigue, and a clear chest X-ray further rules out systemic disease or fluid backing up into the lungs. Now, what's really interesting here is the number 38. Based on that creatinine of 2.2, we calculated his estimated glomerular filtration rate, or eGFR. It comes out to exactly 38 milliliters per minute per 1.73 squared meters. This single metric is the definitive key to staging his kidney function. To actually visualize what's happening, we order a renal ultrasound. The results show bilateral small kidneys with absolutely no hydronephrosis, so zero fluid backup or acute blockage. Small kidneys point directly to a long-term chronic issue with very limited reversibility. Notice the trap we successfully avoided here. Given our highly focused findings, ordering invasive tests like a renal biopsy or completely unnecessary blood cultures would expose the patient to extra risk without changing our management one bit. We relied on the most valid tests, and we've got our evidence. Section 5. Final diagnosis revealed. Connecting the dots. Synthesizing every single meticulous clue we found, the progressive fatigue, the precise creatinine of 2.2, the eGFR of 38, the proteinuria, and those small bilateral kidneys on the ultrasound, the puzzle is officially complete. Our definitive diagnosis, chronic kidney disease, stage 3B. Section 6. Targeted treatment plan. Helping Serene. So, the crucial point is how we tackle this sequentially. First, our absolute top priority is to start an ACE inhibitor or an ARB to reduce that proteinuria and protect the kidneys, effectively slowing the progression of a CKD. Next, we treat his anemia with oral iron, and we only add an erythropoiesis-stimulating agent, an ESA, once his iron stores are totally full and if he's still symptomatic. Otherwise, the bone marrow literally doesn't have the building blocks it needs. Finally, standard cardiovascular protection. We're prescribing a low-salt diet, reinforcing smoking cessation, and starting a statin specifically to manage his risk. But in medicine, knowing what not to do is just as critical. While we implement our targeted plan, we have to avoid harmful interventions. High-dose diuretics could absolutely crash his kidney perfusion. Broad antibiotics or steroids? Totally useless here, and they carry heavy side effects. A nephrectomy is completely out of the question, and a strict fluid restriction is totally unnecessary given his stable sodium levels. Doing any of these things would actively harm Saren. By systematically analyzing every single detail, from a simple 37.8-degree temp to an eGFR of 38, we bypassed the noise, avoided unnecessary testing, and arrived at a highly safe, targeted plan. How often do we let the noise distract us from the concrete data sitting right in front of us? Keep questioning, keep analyzing.